Everyone, you're welcome to today's program. My name is still Decency, the vendor of good news, and I'm here with some good news and also some news that's kind of mind-boggling. But I think overall, we are going to still be victorious in this process because I know many of you have committed a lot to this process, and this process is a merit-based process. I believe that the process was first of all instituted for people who follow process, who follow due process. So I believe that very soon we're going to have cause to rejoice. Okay. So today I have some few updates. Like I said, in our meeting, there are some people who have already gotten their visa. There are some that got their visa in a very unfamiliar way. And I want to share the experience, because from experience, that's where we learn most. We learn more from experience of people. Okay, so we have a person, a family that went for visa in 2025. 2025 was not when the presidential proclamation was in effect. So, but due to, I think some issues, half of the family, I think I've said this before, that a child, the person's last child was not given visa. That's the child that she just added during the process because he added not in the embassy, added the child before the going to the embassy. So the whole thing, like I said, it will jumpstart the process again because they have to, add at the MVC stage. So this child was added, and then on the visa day, they gave visa to the 5 other family members, and they didn't give to the last child of the family. And the mom was calling me. She was very, very, emotions were high because how would you leave your 8 months old baby, to travel, even though all of you have your visas? How will you leave a child that small to travel to the United States? Who are you going to even leave the child for? You understand? Their visas were carrying 2025, but they asked them to do a DNA and all that so that they can, give the baby. All right. So now they did the DNA came out, and the babies belongs to them. There's no issues. But now the baby is going to have a new visa. Like the visa is supposed to have 2026 because or ideally this is the time that they are issuing the baby the visa. So because of that, they record all their visas and they want to cancel all their visas and have them wait until whenever the process, begins to move again. So when this lady was telling me, she called me and she was like, what should I do? Because right now she felt like I can actually travel. I was contemplating it before, how to leave my baby, but now I've made up my mind. I can leave my baby and kind of travel. And I'm like, wait, this is something that you have to consider through and through and know what what is the best thing to do in that condition or in that situation. All right, so but let me just pick everybody's brain a little bit because I know this issue has been resolved, and I gave her the advice that was in my mind, and that was what the embassy also said. So but if you were in that situation, you go to the embassy, you are 6 in your family that went for the embassy, everybody gets visa in 2025 except your last child. Okay? And then they came up to say, well, we're going to issue your last child visa in 2026. And because everything looks good, we're supposed to issue the visa, but because of the presidential proclamation, you are now ineligible for the visa. So we are asking you to return all the visas. Okay. So in that case, what would you do? I want to hear your comments in the comment section. What would you do if you were in this woman's situation? What would you do? Would you take your child and come to the United States? Would you return the passports so that they can cancel them? What would you do? I'm not seeing any responses. Is everybody hearing me? Are we all together? Did you get the narration of the story? Yeah, it is very dicey, Christy. It's very, very dicey. Mhm. It's better to return all the visa and go together after the ban. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's an option. I will leave the child with grandma. Yeah, thank you for being very plain. Yeah. Kizito said, since the embassy asked them to return, I will obey and return it. Okay. Damilola said this is a difficult decision, but it is the best to wait and take the last child. Okay. I will. Whilst I will wait for my baby. Okay. I will leave my child behind. I will leave the child behind. I'm not returning. It's stressful in regards of visa application. Yeah, I agree with you. And someone else is saying it's not better. It is not better to return all the visa and go together. It is, I think you mean like it is better to return all the visa and go together. Yeah. So you guys are all correct in your own way, but I would address it. So someone said I'll wait for the baby, I'll return the visa and wait. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave the child behind. Well, they are all correct answers, guys. But once the embassy has said return, he already flagged the visa number has already been flagged. If you appear in any, unless you want to cross through the border, through like, walking through the border, but if you come in through any airport, you are going to be caught. You are going to be told to go back. And at that time, it's not going to be the general ban again. It's going to be a personal ban. And that personal ban, the lowest I've seen is 5 years. I've seen them give people 5 years. 5 years ban. You have to stay 5 years, no application, do not apply to the United States for any reason for 5 years. Okay? So it's very, very dicey. It's not a situation that I felt comfortable addressing, but I told them to return those passports. Return the passports to them, have them cancel it. It was to me, I was like, look at it, just you're very close to something, and then you lose it. It's very, 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 very sympathetic. But I told them to return it. Return it because holding on to it is nothing. You're not going to make any headway. If you come here, you will still go back, and that will put you far, far, far behind the line. So I guess the lady will listen to me and then do the needful. I guess she has already done it. And there's another second case like that, similar but not the same. But I'll spare us that story and how that one happened. But the summary and the lesson of the whole thing is there is no shortcuts, in this thing. For this ban that has been instituted, we have to wait out the entire process. Once the road clears, all those people that have been interviewed, you have been found ineligible because of the proclamation, you have been given 221G or 221F and all of that. All of you would still be able to go back to the embassy and get your visa once this whole thing is over. Okay? I know patience is something, it's a virtue, and a lot of people don't have that patience. So if you have a means to go to Canada, to go to Australia, to go to New Zealand, I'm trying to figure out ways where people can be able to shunt those other countries. I know that Alberta for some time has been, taking a lot of people that have some of my students or some of my nurses that are just gotten visas to Alberta. A lot of things, that are open in some countries. Quebec also is also one of the province in Canada that is also receptive, but Quebec is a French and English speaking province. So for you to really do well in that area, you really need to have a little touch of French language. You need to know how to speak French. So, but other than that, there are other countries like New Zealand. There are Australia, if you want to go to Australia. The easiest way I feel that there is to go to Australia at the moment is to go through school. Like if you want to go to do your master's or something, while there, if you have written your NCLEX, you can now start looking at, becoming like going into their workforce and finding ways whereby you can get hired through maybe your work permit and all that. You can use it and work a little bit. But that is also something that we have also looked at for those people that have visas to come to the United States or those people that are in the United States already. and they wanted to go home or they don't want to go home, those are other things that you can also explore. Explore ways that you can maybe go to school, change your status to F1 and go to school. And as you're going to school, you can now begin to look at, possible ways of, becoming a legal immigrant. All right. So I just want to appreciate everybody for all your answers. All your answers are so good, so correct. But I just want to say, once it's embassy and once they advise, just know that they mean it, and it's gonna be everywhere. So the best thing is just to follow their instruction, follow the rules, so submit the passport to them, and then have that done. Yeah, so yeah, you can actually transfer. So for your nursing license, the one you get by writing your NCLEX, you can use it in Canada, you can use it in Australia, and I think in New Zealand as well. So you can use it in these countries. You can use your nursing license that you got from here, from the US. When you took your NCLEX, you can use it in these other countries. So, but you have to do an endorsement. You have to apply to their boards of nursing and then submit your NCLEX pass letters, submit your transcripts, using the appropriate bodies. All of them have the bodies that they accept. I know that Canada do with NANS. So there are other bodies that other like Australia's and all that will use, but they will evaluate just your transcript. But for your nursing license, they will get it directly from NSCBN. So once they get that nursing license, they will be able to endorse you in their states or in their country, and you have their license. So now you can actually practice in multiple countries once you have that license. So taking NCLEX is not a, how will I put it, is not a loss. Okay. It is not, you're not losing by writing NCLEX. You are opening up many doors for yourself by doing your NCLEX. If you have not written your NCLEX, I advise you to do so. And we're just going to go into some issues that other people have encountered recently by those that got their visas in 2025 and came to the border, the feedback that they gave us, and we're trying to kind of communicate this because I know some people that got visas in 2025, their agencies has not let them come in yet, because maybe there is no work available for you, but your visa is ready. So I want you to take note of these things. Okay, number one, there are some questions that you're going to be faced with at the point of entry. At the point of entry, there are some questions that the border control officers are going to ask you. And those questions you better answer them very well. No matter, regardless of the visa that you have, you better answer those questions very well. Number one question is, where are you going? Or let's say, what is the aim of coming to the United States? You have to know. This is not like you've gotten your visa done and dusted, everything is done. These are periods of uncertainties. And I told you people that they have some overzealous actors. If you have been watching TikTok or watching some social media, you see some ICE agents, the way they harass people, take even US citizens into custody and all that. So people are living in unpredictable moments. Okay, it has never been like that. We know it's not going to last because the number of sensible people here is bigger and better than the number of people who do not who act irrationally. So, but there are overzealous actors everywhere. There are people that when you tell them to do A, they will do A, B, C, D. Okay? And my problem with that is that most times those people that do A, B, C, D, their actions are not vetted, unless you have somebody who speaks up and then who has someone that would maybe a big attorney that would represent them. That's when those people's voice will be heard. Okay, but for the meantime, I just want us to focus on yourself doing the right thing first. Number one, they will ask you what is your aim of being in the United States? And for most of you that are coming here for with your green card petition and all that, you're coming here for work. Okay, you're coming here to work. So one of the things that you should try to do is to answer that you're here because of your employment. Okay, then you should be able to quote the name of your agency. Your agency is your employer, except you are a direct hire. If you're a direct hire, then the hospital is your employer. But if you're not a direct hire, your agency is your employer. So you should be able to mention your agency's name, you should be able to mention your agency's address, and you should have a contact phone number of your agency, maybe your IPA or somebody who is, always, available within your agency that can pick up the call when they call them. You should be able to have their numbers ready and handy. Okay, this is very, very important. I'm giving you these feedbacks from questions that they will ask people that just recently got into the United States. So where are you going? It will be like a normal conversation, but sometimes when they start digging, then it means that something is wrong somewhere. And that's where or when you have to be very careful of the responses that you give. Okay? So duration, they're going to ask you how long are you staying, but those how long are you staying is going to be like people who are coming here on B1, B2 or visitors visa or anything, they will ask you how long you're going to stay in the US. But for that one, I don't think we don't have anybody in that category right now. But if you have somebody in that category, please don't mention anything more than 3 months because recently there is a regulation that anybody that is issued visa in 2025, I think 2025 or 2025 June downwards, the visa duration, the stay in the United States was reduced from 6 months when you enter to 3 months. And that 3 months that they gave you is like you stay that 3 months, then you go back. So if you mention anything above 3 months, then you're implicating yourself. And this is not just about mentioning. Your return ticket should also say that. Your return ticket should also say that you're leaving because they will see all that. They will ask you for it and they should be able to see them. They should be able to see that you're returning back to your home country at a certain date. And for those people that are here on or coming on tourist visa, you have to know where you're going to stay, like your hotel, or if you're going to be living with somebody when you come, you have to know your relationship with them. I've seen it go very bad, like somebody that was coming to the United States, hoping that the husband is already here in the United States, but is coming with a visitor's visa. But the conversations in the lady's device is that she's going to stay. So when she came, they asked questions and where is your husband? I was going to get to that question. They asked, do you have anybody here in the United States? Say, yes. Who is it? Say, my husband. Your husband. Say, where is he? He mentioned, and it's exactly the same city that the lady came for. Meanwhile, this lady was coming for a conference, but hoped to see the husband and then go home. But now they asked the lady to submit her phone, and they went through the messages that she communicated with the husband and found out that this lady has intentions not to go home. So what did they do? They gave the lady 5-year ban. Okay, the lady did not come in. They put her in the next flight coming back to Lagos. You understand? So it happens. I just want you to learn from these experiences. Most times, most of these people might not be able to tell their story, but if they can tell it to me, I will share it anonymously. But it's also possible. It's also possible. There's no privacy, Zena. There's no privacy. Even the deleted messages, they can pull it back. Don't be so smart. Don't say, okay, I'm going to delete message. No, no, no. They will pull it back up. Once they plug it in their computer, they will go to your trash and then they remove all the deleted messages, bring it back, and they will read it. And they will show it to you. And they will give you a paper. They will print it actually. They will print it, give you the paper, you read it, and then they will give you another paper that you're going to sign. And that paper, the second one is you signing that you're not going to be here in the next 5 years. I've seen people that were given ban of 100 years. That's like never. Don't even come here. You understand? Those people, like, they have child trafficking suspicion, like, somebody is suspecting them for child trafficking because maybe they have some child that is questionable, or they went for DNA and they found out that the person they had was not their child. It has happened, and they were given ban of like 100 years. If you ever live above 100 years, then you can apply. You understand? So, but 5 years is the barest minimum that you can see. But that's not for anybody here, but I want us to be very, very careful. Okay, next thing is your finances, the money that you have with you. You have to declare the money that you have. If you're coming to the United States, please do not come. As a family, you're entitled to come in with $10,000. Then as an individual, you're entitled to $5,000 cash. I'm talking about cash. So if you have anything more than this, you should be like in a domiciliary account that you can move to the United States when you come over here. But to have it handy, and it will be considered, if you have so much money, it will be considered money laundering. Okay, so do not come in with so much money. Just try as much as possible to stay within the $5,000 limit. If you're coming with your spouse, $10,000. Okay, so they will ask you if you have any of course you go through the scan. They've already seen everything in your bag and everything, but they will still ask you if you have any money stashed in your bag. And if you lie, that's another issue. So always be truthful and say what you see. Okay. They will also ask you about your previous travel history. Like, for instance, if you have traveled, come to the United States, committed a crime, went back, served your ban, whatever, and came back again, always know that you will be having delayed stay at the point of entry, because once they see that record, they're going to pull you by the side. They're going to ask you questions to see if those things, those conditions that made them to ban you, if they have changed. They will find out every single time. So you'll be having those delays at the point of entry. So always be sure to have documents to prove that you have actually done what you're supposed to do in that regard. Okay. If you are not in our WhatsApp group where you get all our links, if you are not following us on Facebook, please kindly do so. We are dropping our Facebook, sorry, not Facebook, YouTube link, because that's where we post these videos at the end of the day, so that you can actually go there and listen to the videos. They are very, 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 very useful. There are so many other useful videos that we have there about people's situations. So people that came to the United States coming to share their experience. We have a lot of people already for this year that will be coming here to share their experience of how they came here. So if you want to be getting all those links and how to join us, how to be live here, or how to go back to watch them on YouTube, please kindly, there's a link that was just posted. Please kindly go there, click on the like button, subscribe, and then follow us there, and you will be getting all our notifications when we post a video. All right, then the next thing is your occupation and then your social media. I cannot emphasize social media enough, guys. Please, please. Please, I don't want social media to be a reason why you get your visa and then someone that is an overzealous actor will be somewhere and checks your social media and say, I found something that is affiliated to something. Please, I'm begging you, if you know you are truly coming to the United States for this process, please be mindful of what you do on your social media. It can put you in trouble. It can just be you being you. Don't say that, well, won't I be myself? You are yourself. But sometimes your right kind of infringes on other people's right. Your freedom of speech does not allow you to, kind of talk to everybody. Sorry, you have to know your rights. You have to know that, you don't have to overstep your bounds when you are on the social media space. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say about that. Okay, so kindly join us. So if they find any problem with your questions, they will pull you aside. Most of the time, they pull you aside. When they pull you aside to ask you questions, what they are doing is just to verify. But that's where it gets so how will I put it? That it begins to get a little bit. Come on, come on, this one.
So,
All right, so once you are able to getting into the United States, that's where the journey ends for visa application. It's not when you get the visa. It's actually when you come into the United States, past that border patrol, that's when you now say you are now in the United States. All right, they might ask you about your family, if you have any family here. If you do, they might want to see communications with that family member, because that's how they find out if you want to stay or if you are leaving. But for people that are coming on EB3, that's not a question for you, because already you are an immigrant. Okay, they might ask you about your education, they might ask you about your phones, and then another area where people get in trouble is the content of your bag. There are some food items that are not allowed in the United States. Things that are wet, anything that is wet is not allowed. Like meat, or that is not dried very well. Even those that are dried, like this meat that they call kilishi in Nigeria, it's prohibited. And they have sniffing dogs. And if you come in through airports like Atlanta, those dogs, they already have their own kilishi that they seize from people. So in the morning, they will give the dog those kilishi to sniff. And then when the dog sniffs those kilishi, they will take the dog round the bags of everybody that just arrived. And what the dog is looking for is where it will hear the same smell. You understand? Once it perceives that same smell in any bag, it stops there and then they take that bag and go and search it. So those kind of food is not permitted. You should not bring them so that you don't delay yourself. You understand? So, and then anything wet, like if you're looking at, wet foods and all that, please do not bring that in. It will put you in trouble. Then even seeds, some seeds like melon, the melon that we use back home, most of the seeds is not also permitted that for you to bring them here unless they are dried. So keep everything dried, sealed, and labeled. So put them in a white transparent bag and put label on it if you're coming here. That way they know that this is the food that you have in it, and then this is the content. You can put the English name and the whatever name that you know the food with, so that they will be able to search the food online and know if it's something that they don't want here or not. So but keep your bag simple so that you don't delay yourself. It could be very crazy if you come to the airport and then you're being delayed because of one thing in your bag or the other. Are we all following? Is everybody hearing me? Are we following to this point? Can I get responses? If you're following us to this point, please kindly let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I'm following. Can food like palm oil be taken?
Yes.
You can, but you have to freeze it to the point that it cannot be. Yeah, so palm oil is not permitted. Then let me just come like that. But if you ever want to, you understand, if you have maybe little quantity, make sure you freeze it very well, then wrap it, and then sometimes it flies, sometimes it does not. But for me, I would say do not come with it. Okay, that's the best I can say. Do not come with it is the best that we can do. Okay. So, someone wants me to talk about marriage certificate. I will come there because sometimes they may ask you for documents as well at the border, at the end point of entry. There is a packet that they are going to give you at the embassy, or the packet that they gave you, yes, at the embassy. Please kindly make sure that you submit that packet at your point of entry. They will ask you for it. You submit that packet. And then there's also something I want to mention. Once you get your visa, I want you, if it's possible, I know there's no money, but if it's possible, kindly try and pay for your green card immediately. What it does is that it kind of cuts down the time that you wait for your green card when you come to the United States. At least let it start processing. So once you get your visa, pay for your green card. Even when you're still back home, when you're still in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, just pay for your green card. You understand? That way it start counting and start processing. I've seen people who come here, maybe they pay for their green card here. They have to wait for like 3 months or 2 months before their social security will come out, before their green card will come back. But if you pay it from back home, that time of processing will start counting. At least you'll be halfway, into it by the time you come to the United States. So please kindly try as much as possible to pay for the green card. All right. So someone is asking me if it's okay to marry post NCLEX, and I addressed this thing the last time. I said, we can marry anytime. Post NCLEX, pre NCLEX, you can marry anytime. But the only thing I want you to do is when you get married post NCLEX and you filed for your I-140, include your husband. If you get married after filing for I-140, include your husband. But if anything happens after your document has been reviewed and sent back to the consular office in Nigeria or in Ghana or anywhere, when you add at that point, it's going to reset the system. So it's better at that point to just wait and add at the embassy. That way, from the embassy, they'll process everything and then you're covered. So that's my own take on that. Based on experience, based on what has happened to people, that's what I'm sharing. Like, I'm not an immigration officer, but I have a group. I have one of the largest group in Africa that I hear stories every day on my phone. I hear stories, I get feedbacks. So these are things I'm sharing, experiences of people, and I'm letting you not to make the same mistakes that other people make. Even those that are immigration attorneys, sometimes they can't keep up with all the changes. But with experience like this, you can be able to keep up with the changes real time. Something that is happening real time, you can keep up with it as much as you want. All right, so that's it for me. That's my recommendation based on what has happened to people. All right, so let's go a little deeper. So, like I said, at the point of entry, please just be truthful, gather your documents, know your rights, be prepared that there might be questions. Don't fidget. Don't go there and get so nervous and say, hey, they are going to take me back. No, 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 no. Keep your cool. In fact, your confidence is also one of the things they are considering. I have a story, someone that went for visa interview, when that was a B1, B2 visitors visa. She applied for the visa interview, went for the visa. First time she's applying to the US, went for the visa interview. And then after during the interview, the person that is interviewing her just said, the consular officer, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to issue you visa. He said, please, can I have my international passport? I'm going there to spend my money. So what is that? And I have to wait here. She talked like she was a big woman. You will see that she's not doing anything with the United States. They said, okay, wait, let's go and review again. And they went back, reviewed, and came back and then gave her visa. So it's possible it can happen like that. So always try as much as possible to be very confident, okay, when you appear there. All right, so now, say talk about marriage. We've talked about that. What else in the point where exactly in the point of entry? So when you're entering the United States, when the flight drops you guys, everything is going to, all the directions that you're going to see is going to take you to the place where you're going to be vetted, like where you're going to be screened before you now come into the United States. So on your way to that place, there is some directions, and then people who are citizens of the United States, there's a line for them. People who are diplomats, there are lines for them to, like, there is a special line where those people stay. But every other person, both B1, B2, green card holders, everything, you will see, just be reading the sign. You will see it will tell you this is the right place for you to stay. Okay, so you just follow those lines and you go to the place where you're supposed to stay. All right. So when you get to the point of that interview, there's a little interview. It's kind of a mini interview, but sometimes it can get escalated. It can get escalated, and you'll be taken to an office, and then they'll ask you an interview as if something is really, really bad. Okay, but most of the times it goes very smoothly, and nobody is going to escalate anything. Only when they find out that there is something that is irregular in your application that was not caught by the consular officer, that's when they now, start questioning you further. All right. So it happens more with people coming here with visitors visa more than people coming with green card. But you never say never. It can also happen with green card. So what I'm bringing to you is just an opportunity for you to know this is something that's going to happen. Be prepared for it. If any question comes up, be confident when you're answering them. Gather your documents. Make sure you have every document with you to prove anything that may be questionable. Like if you have been in the United States before, if you have gotten banned from the United States before, all those things, just have documents to prove that they have elapsed or they have expired or another judgment has already been given. Just find a way to, because that's the only reason why they could tell you that you are not going to be admitted into the United States. They would, send you back to your home country. All right. So is the green card for only principal applicants or everyone? Every member of your family would have a green card. Okay. So once you get your visa, you pay for every member of your family. I think it's $245 per person. So everybody pays that $245. Every member of the family pays that. Okay. So is the green card, okay, I've said that. Can they start work while waiting for SSN? No, you cannot start work while waiting for SSN. So SSN is your taxpayer identification number. That's everything about you. In short, that number is you. When you come to the United States, you should not let anybody see your SSN. You should not send it to anybody, even scammers. Sometimes they call you, they try to make you say what your SSN is. Once you say it to them, they will do what they call identity theft on you. They're going to steal your identity and then use your SSN to apply to many things. They can use it to get credit from bank. They use it to do a lot of things, so don't let anybody, see or have it. It's only for your consumption, and anybody that should have it should be like a regular agency that is known in the United States, not even over the phone. Most of the times, it's not advisable to give your SSN over the phone unless you know who you are talking to. And even those people you're talking to, they are not even permitted to write down your SSN. You can only input it in a computer, and then that's it. At the end of the day, that's it. So it's a 9-digit number. I think it's 9. Yes, yeah, I think it's 9. 9-digit number that follows you everywhere you go. Wait, it's not 9. Around that number, but it follows you everywhere you go. That's the number that you have for your tax refund, everything you do with the federal government, with the state government, with the county, you have to provide your SSN. That's you. All right. So it has to be out before you start working. But green card, normally it doesn't have to be out before you start working. But paying for green card would stimulate it to kind of make all this process to be set on, like, to start rolling before you even come here. So the best thing is just to pay for them before you get here. Okay, what if a family of 5 comes in with less than $5,000? You can come in with less than, but don't come in with more than, because of that money laundry act. Don't come in with more than, but you can come in with less than. All right, so let's see more questions. Okay, yeah, are hospitals and agencies still accepting applications and giving job offers? Yes. If you don't have any job offer, you can reach out to one of our partners, Interstaff. I spoke to them yesterday. They are still accepting application, and that's where agencies that are very, very hopeful on their applicants. These things is not shaking them. But any agency that is fidgeting right now and shaking, well, they are not really into it for long term. Maybe they are into it for the short term, but agency is meant to be into this game for a long term. We have seen agencies that survived like longer periods of retrogressions and all that. So why not ban would always come and go with dispensations and administration. So yeah, definitely agencies are still accepting. So look out for anyone that is accepting. Get your I-140 filed and begin your process of coming to the United States. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I think that was when I went out a little bit. So what if you don't have up to $5,000 as a family? If you don't have up to, it's not a problem. It's not a problem not to have up to, but if you have more than, that's where the issue comes. Okay. It's just for you to be sure that you're not tagged a money laundry person kind of thing. So let's see what, okay, boss, please, what with the recent January 21 policy, which Nigeria is inclusive, what is the fate of people traveling with valid visa coming before them? Please. I wanted to talk about that. So if you guys don't know, there is another ban again for 72 countries, either 72 or 71 countries. And this ban is that they will stop processing of visas from any of this country. Okay, that's one of the updates I wanted to bring to you. They are stopping the process of visas from any of these countries. And I want you guys to be aware of it. I want you guys to try to avoid it if it's possible. If it's possible to come in before that time, because the more these bans are accumulating, the more people are trying to stay away from trouble. You don't want to admit anybody and then you have to lose your job. So it's even better you send the person back home. So I just want for us to be very, very safe and very, very, if you have gotten your visa, if you have somebody in the United States that you can stay with, pending when your agency will be ready, I think it would be best to do that. Okay, tell your agencies, this is the situation of things. I think it's better for me to come in and then wait for you to get ready with the job. Okay, then I can come join you. I think it's just the best. I'm being myself. I'm being very, very like truthful, because I know that some of these things might be taken out of context. Some of this ban will be taken out of context in the nearest time, like when we get to those periods. Okay, a 19-year-old was said to have aged out at the interview. What could be the reason? 19 years old? It's not supposed to. Is not supposed to. A 19-year-old is not supposed to have aged out, unless was the person 19 when they applied, or was the person 19 at the point of interview? I want to get more details because these are two different things. If you're 19 at the time of your application, and then by the time you are doing the actual interview, you are now 22. If the person says you have aged out, then it's true that you have aged out. But sometimes most consular officers will consider your age at the point of application. You understand? That's what most people have done, and it has worked for a lot of people. It has worked for people that are very close to me. They started the application before they turned 21, and then when they turned 21, they went for the interview. Everybody was panicking. At the end of the day, everybody in the family got a visa, and they are all here in the United States. Okay, so it's like that. So a 19-year-old couldn't have aged out unless at the point of interview, the 19-year-old is now 22 or 21 plus. Okay, that's the only reason. Okay, while waiting for immigration crisis and priority dates to be current, is it right for one to migrate to countries like Saudi Arabia to work? Would there be any problem? I don't think there'll be any problem. There won't be any problem if you want to go somewhere and work while waiting. There won't be any problem. Okay, the only thing is that when you're going, stay away from crime, stay away from anything that will make your name to be flagged by any country. Okay, so try as much as possible to avoid issues. Okay, so my recruiter said that I can do change of name in MVC stage. Please, can you explain better? Yes, but all those things, it depends on what stage of the MVC. If you are still not a DQ, documentarily qualified, then you can actually do that. All those processes can go into the system at the same time. Okay, but once you become documentarily qualified, I would say just wait at the embassy, you tell them what name, provide evidence, and they will make sure your visa carries that name. Then you can continue with the name to come here. All right. Uh, that's what many people that have advised did, and it worked for them. So yes, I was taken to the room. Oh, okay. Somebody is confirming what I said. So someone said, yes, I was taken to that room while my family were left out when we visited last year, March. I was just asked a few questions. You see? So once they find something fishy, once something is not adding up, they will take you to the room in the back. So, but there you will not see any room. When you come there, it's just like a big hall. Everybody is going on their line, standing on the queue, trying to get into it before they now go and pick their bags. Okay, but if you find anybody, they ask a question, ask them, they tell the person, can you wait? Before you know it, two people have come from the back and they are waiting. Maybe two people, they will dress normally so that they don't scare you to feel that you're going to be arrested or something. They will dress normal, they will pick you. When they go to the back, then we now see police officers and people that are uniformed in that back. They will be the one that maybe ask you questions, search your bag and the rest of them. So yes. So, but thank God for I think Mr. K said he was taken to the back, and at the end of the day, he was not detained, he was released. All right, so, and someone else said, please, I need assistance on the renewal of my T-bond. So there's a number that is going to be posted here. That number, you can chat us up. That's our company, Decency NCLEX Academy. We can do all your processes for NCLEX. We can help you with all your processes. If you want to come here for studies or go to UK for studies as well, you can also reach out to us. We can help and assist with that. All right, so we can do that. We can help you to maneuver that. So just contact one of our specialists with the number that will be posted shortly, and then you'll be able to get that resolved, your CE. All right, my sister went for Xfinity Wi-Fi for home internet in USA, and she was asked for her SSN. Does it mean that the customer care at the shop can steal it? No. At that point, that SSN is just to link her to, it's just like a verification. So that if anybody does anything with her phone number, then they will trace it to her. Because phone number is one of your essential things people can actually use to trace things to you here in the United States. So yes, they can ask them for their social security, especially if they are not paying out of pocket. They are doing like a payment plan or something like that, where they have to open a credit line for them. They will ask them for the SSN. Okay, so someone said I got the email yesterday from my agency. I don't know what email you're talking about, but you can explain further, Christy. All right, and I have another. Kindly add me to the pre-arrival group. Yes, so you would chat up our number so that you'll be added. I'll post that number. I wasn't given a sealed packet. The passport officer said my details were electronically imputed in the visa, and I'm safe with that. Okay, that is good. That is good. And Chinonye, I hope you're here already. Please kindly try and be here before the 21st, if possible. Try and be here before the 21st. All right, so Louisa said, no, she is 19 when she attended the interview this January in the US, Nigerian. Something might be wrong. They need to explain to her, is she a dependent of another person? Or I don't know, something must have been the issue. It's not just about the age. It might be something else. I don't think age is the real issue. It might be something, age might be secondary, but there is something else that might be the real issue there. All right. My agency told me, or you can contact me and we can talk further on that, Louisa. Okay, my agency told me that proceeding with my interview next month is my sole decision, and I have decided to proceed with it despite the ban. Is there any harm attending the interview? There is no harm. People have been going. I just wasn't happy, sharing all those. But a lot of people have gone. They've gotten the same letter. Most of them. In fact, the person that called me yesterday was like, and my interview was successful, and my mind was like, have they lifted the ban? And she said, no, no, no. I mean, successful, like they gave me what they were giving others. I said, okay, that's fine. If that's now your definition of success, that's okay. Okay, but the summary of the whole thing is that the interview, it will go normal way, just that you won't get your visa and then you'll be given that form. So please add my contact to pre-arrival. I will send the number that you would contact. Okay, 72 countries were on the ban. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Hi, boss. Thanks for all you do. Please, I have someone whose ID is next month. She asked to cancel because she was dropped by the hospital, presently trying to reschedule, but it's not working. Went to the embassy on how to go about rescheduling and canceling. She was advised to visit the embassy on the date of her interview and states her concern to the consular boss. What could you think of? So for me, before that interview date, find another sponsor in the United States. Find another sponsor, find another agency that would at least initiate the process of recapturing you, and then you can use them. That's it. Because if you go to the embassy and you don't have a job, is a major criteria for which is the basis for which your visa will be granted. Then if you don't have a job, that means there's an express reason why your visa will not be granted. So I would say find another agency as soon as possible. Find just reach out to someone. Just reach out to me. I can try to find you something, but it's very difficult now to recapture somebody from Nigeria because of the ban situation. But I would say still try and find somebody where that could just be like a sponsor, placeholder sponsor, and that it will work. Okay. All right. So now the next question is if you are 57 years old when you applied for I-140, and by the time you are done, you're 60 plus, what's the usability there in terms of workforce? So workforce in the United States, I have worked with somebody who is 72 in the hospital. Okay, workforce in the United States is all about, can you do the work? Are you strong enough? If you're strong enough, you can. So do your process. I would advise Miss Pam, just do your process, get through with it. When you get to the end, get your visa, you come here, you can pick a job with maybe I think one of the most very easygoing jobs is like, maybe nursing homes or psych jobs. So you can pick one of those jobs and you'll be okay, you'll be okay. You don't go to places where it's like fast paced, everybody's moving so fast as if they're chasing something. Just go to places where slow pace, lower pace, so that you can match up with the energy and be able to, still take care of your patient. All right, so is it only USA that DNA partner for employment? So we did Canada before, and right now the province that we use is no longer recruiting. So, but we are looking into Australia seriously. I just don't want to share it until we got something solid. Okay. So, but just keep on coming here. Something is cooking, and when that thing is done, not only Australia, when that thing is done, I'm going to share a lot of other means and measures that people can use to kind of go somewhere and wait while waiting for this whole thing to be over. All right. And I'm not just going to share it, I'll be involved in the process from beginning to the end so that at least some kind of credibility and some kind of assurances that nobody is going to cheat anyone. If we're working or partnering with any agency, it will be people that I approve of and people that can actually deliver that we are using. All right, so please, I need assistance on the renewal. Yes, we can actually do this. Chinyere, if you're here, kindly post our number, the number on our WhatsApp. So post it so that one of our specialists will get on all these Texas Board of Nursing renewals and registrations, and we can get it done. You can actually get some of these things done as soon as possible for you. All right, yeah, even though you're still in Nigeria, you can get it done. All right, so now, someone is asking, the email I got yesterday from my agency was on the ban of 72 countries, though they said I should be patient, that they will keep monitoring everything. Yes, I guess that's all we can do at this point, be patient and keep on monitoring the process. Okay, please, someone is asking, please, any employment opportunities in Canada there is, try Abata. Try Abata. Is something. My study visa application was denied. I don't know why it was denied, but I think if you have your NCLEX, you should try Arbata. There's somebody who has done that process to Arbata. Is on my list of people that are coming here in February. Okay, so we'll bring somebody from Canada in February to come and explain how her process went, and just be on the lookout. You will get something on Canada very soon from us. All right, so yeah, so kindly add me to pre-arrival. We would add all these people to pre-arrival, please. Okay, what is the age limit for Australia? I don't believe that there is any age limit for Australia. Some of these countries is your ability to work that distinguishes you from the next person. So if you're able to work, you should be, though Australia is not bent on, is so bent on age. I don't know if Australia is bent on age, but it's something I'm going to kind of still put an eye on. I'm not very certain that they are bent on age limit. For Canada does something they call point-based visa system. So point-based visa system is like there are points that you get if you meet some certain criteria. US does merit-based visa system. So which means if you take exam, if you write your NCLEX, if you do your English proficiency, if you qualify with all the credentialing systems and everything, you're merited to be here. But for Canada, it's point-based in the sense that if you're within a certain age bracket, it gives you either a lesser point or a higher point, but it does not disqualify you. Okay? For instance, if you're going to Quebec, for instance, if you can speak French, or if you have passed your IELTS in French, it gives you a bigger edge, and more points. So in their point-based system. So they have, for the express entry, they have points that you get for each of those categories. Like your work, if you work in an area that they need, it gives you points. Your age will give you points. Your communication will give you points. There are a lot of things that will give you points that, in their system. But US is not like that. So I guess for some of these countries, they would have maybe age limit, but not really like they are saying no to age or people of a certain age. Just that if you belong to that age group, you have likely chances of being accepted because they would prefer to hire someone who is much more younger because of their aging population. So most definitely you are correct, but it's a two-way thing. Okay, that's not how the US system functions. Okay. Okay, so we will go into a little more on what you would do here in the United States. I'm still focusing on the United States. We'll talk about Canada when we get the person from Canada to give us a first-hand experience on the nursing in Canada, how it is. Okay, so for the first day that you will be at work in the United States, I would always say this. There are a lot of opportunities in the US, but you have to open your eyes to see them. You have to open your eyes to see them. If you are just a normal person, you will not see opportunity. You have to look deeper, think out of the box for you to see opportunities. So the first day you will go to work, there are some things I need to, put in place first. Like if you're going to work tomorrow, today, get yourself ready, prepare yourself, get your scrubs, get your stethoscope, buy all those things from back home, or you can buy them here when you come here. Buy your scrubs, your stethoscope, buy your shoes, your can, get a very comfy shoe, dress smart, dress so that you'll be outstanding on that day of your onboarding. On the day of your onboarding, when you come, be very, very outstanding. People will know you from that fair. Oh, the first day I saw you, I know you're going to be great. That's one of the impressions you will leave in the faces of people. All right. So try as much as possible to get yourself prepared for the whole thing before the day. And on that day of your interview, please do not go there late. Please. If you're having car trouble before that day, make arrangements for Uber that's going to take you to your onboarding. Okay, everybody is looking out. So I don't want you to come in sweating and then expect everybody to understand. I just came back. I just came from a foreign country. They should all understand. Nobody understands that. Okay, work is work. You understand? So once it's that day, wake up early, go there early, do not sleep in the class when they are doing some lectures. Be attentive, be present and be following. Ask questions, okay? No question is so irrelevant. Ask any questions that come to your mind and make connections as well. You're going to see the HR directors, everybody that will talk to you at your onboarding are decision makers. They are either managers or directors of different units of the hospital. They are the people that will come to talk to you. Make connections. Make connections, I mean, it's like if your husband does not have a job and you already have a job with that hospital, there is every tendency for your husband to have a job in that hospital. Just walk up to any of them and say, hey, I'm here with my husband and he doesn't have a job. I was wondering if he can work in any of your unit. They will ask you, okay, what did he study? So he studied food and nutrition, for instance. Okay, he can come and work in our kitchen, that kind of thing, or work with our nutritionist, something like that. They would get the person in. Please, there could be jobs that may not require training in the hospital that your husband can get just with a snap of the finger if you just make the right moves. If you are the wife, if you are the husband that is the primary applicant, you can do the same thing for your wife, and your wife will get a small job within the hospital so that everybody can start picking up financially in the United States instead of having somebody stay at home for 1 year waiting to write NCLEX or waiting to do one or two things. You can get the person fixed in one of your facilities. Okay, so be open-minded, be attentive to what's going on, know the people that are coming to talk to you, and know then they are going to ask you for a few things. In the US, if you don't clock in, you didn't work. Even if you are the one that carried the dead body from the unit to the mortuary, everybody saw you, but you did not clock in. You understand? So once you come in, the first thing you do is just go to where the clock-in sign is. You must have had a badge before then. Use the badge and clock in to show that you are coming to work. And it's that time you clocked in that your time start counting. So if you come to the hospital and you're sitting in, and then midway into your shift, you go and clock in. Is that midway into your shift that they will pay you to the end of your shift? Okay, unless you go and fill out a paperwork and then follow it up with the HR and tell them I came in, and your manager will have to attest to it and the rest of them. But to save yourself those troubles, make sure you come in and just clock in immediately. All right. So onboarding will start. There will be meet and greet. You will go to your unit. There is a lot of smiles. Whether they are fake or they are real, I don't know, but there's a lot of smiles in the US system, hospital system. So when you go there, wear your best smile. Not the smile like you are, something is, but just a short-lived smile. Somebody that can just smile with you and the person is done. The person is going. It's not like the person smiles for you that the person wants to hold up a conversation with you. It's just a greeting. So somebody that is like 4 feet away from you will just show you his smiling face and the person is going. So accept it is their culture. People here do a lot of that. So when they smile to you, smile back. You don't have the problem of the whole world in your head on your head. So try as much as possible to keep your problems at home, come to work, do your work, keep the problem of the work at work, then come to home and be the best mother to your kids. Okay, that's the best way to function without having to have work-life balance issues in the United States. Okay, so as much as possible, I would encourage everyone to, during your orientation phase, they will be giving you some modules that you would do. Like you may go to a hospital that they will ask you to go and do some NIH certifications, and then do your BLS and then RQI. There's a lot of things that they may put on you. Try as much as possible to do them. They are not going to be given any special consideration because you're coming from a different country. No, you are a registered nurse. You passed your NCLEX just like every other person. So you're expected to work just like every other person. US system is a fast-paced hospital system, especially if you work in level 1 trauma. It's not a place where you drag your feet. If you're on the hallway, you're going somewhere. You can't be on the hallway, walking slowly, sluggishly, because there's camera everywhere. You understand? So if you're in the hallway, it's almost like you're walking to something, you're running, you're going to do something, or coming back from something. The only time you have to sit down is when you have to chat. Okay, when you are doing everything, you're done doing everything you're doing, you go back to the nursing station, you sit down and pen down all the things you have carried out for your patient. That's the time that you have to sit down. Okay, and that applies even to the people that work nights. I've had stories, I've had people come to me with different situations. The one that is very, very alarming, that is always occurring every time, is people that go to work and they sleep on their they sleep on the job. Okay. So there's a guy, he was like, came to work one day, was working with some people that they know very well, he knows them very well. So they've worked for some time. So he was comfortable with them. And this guy does two jobs. That's the thing. Don't spread so much of information that should be for your consumption alone. This information, this advice I'm giving you, you will thank me later for it. If you know you're making progress, if you know you're working two jobs, it's not for that hospital to know. Don't say that I'm going to tell them that I'm working two jobs so that they can pity me when I come and give me less patients. No, it won't happen. It will not happen. Somebody somewhere, some people might be happy for you, but some people might be angry and they want to get you kicked out of the hospital. Okay, so somebody was very cool with everybody, so came in and said, okay, guys, I had a rough day at my other job today. I don't know if I should just like, lay my head somewhere. And they were like, yeah, go for it, go for it. And then even they gave him blankets, patient blankets, and he took it and he went and go and sat down somewhere. He was just taking a nap. They took a picture of him and sent to the manager. That was the end. I'm telling you, that's the end. So be careful. No matter how cool you are with somebody, do not try to trust them with your job. You are the sole custodian of your job. You do not have to give it to somebody, keep my job for me, because once you are, giving somebody the responsibility of take care of my patient, I want to go and sleep, you are already relinquishing the authority of your job to the person. Okay, so do not trust to that extent. So try as much as possible to come to work, do your job, and don't take so many, like they would come to you with a lot of there is available vacant shifts. Do you want to pick up? But even when you pick up and you're trying to help them and something now happened in that shift that you picked up, they will not say it's because he picked up those shifts and that's why something happened. We are sorry, we can just keep you with your mistake. No, because mistakes are not handled at the hospital level. It's handled at the board of nursing level. And the board of nursing does not know how good or how bad you are. They just want to kick out the bad eggs from the hospital and collect or revoke their licenses from them. So try as much as possible to protect your license. Protect your license. According to what we discussed today, the US ban is not forever. It's going to end one day. So if you are in this process and US is your destination, just keep holding on and I will be here with you. I'll be coming here every Friday for us to discuss and encourage ourselves. At the end of the day, we will still be here on this show when the ban will be lifted and people will start sharing good news of how they entered the United States. All right. And then on the other hand, we are working on a whole lot of other things to see how we can find solutions to other countries that people would want to go to. If you want to go to UK to study, we have a very good partnership with an agency in the UK that can get you there in the shortest possible time, and you can go there and start your studies. If you want to do your master's in UK, anything, and it works perfectly well. A lot of people has benefited from it. Let us know. And then if you want to chat us up on WhatsApp so that you can be added to any of our group, so I want you to chat up this number. So chat up this number on WhatsApp for you to, if you're looking to do your Texas Board of Nursing, chat up this number. If you're looking to do your, be added to our exclusive pre-arrival group, chat up that number. If you want to get into our mentorship group as well, we have a mentorship group. It's non-paid group, so you're not going to be paying for it. You can chat up that number as well. I will put you in the group, okay, if you qualify. All right. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for the discussion. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you guys next week, Friday. Next week, Friday is our Start Smart program. We're going to try to get people that are not on board already to do their NCLEX. We get them on board and try as much as possible to get them to start their process. And before June this year, we'll make sure that they pass their NCLEX. It's our promise. We'll know that we always come through with our promise. So thank you. God bless you. See you all next week, Friday. Bye, everyone.